Commission meeting will now come to order. Can we have a roll call?
Officer Shinnick.
Yep.
Commissioner Hall is absent. Commissioner Rowe is absent. Commissioner Stellion.
Here.
Commissioner Brienza.
Present.
All right. If everyone read the minutes from the last meeting, I'll entertain a
Make a
motion.
motion to accept? I'll second.
Motion made and seconded to accept the minutes from the last meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? And it's a vote. I'll now open the public hearings. The first one being number 893, establish an isolated stop sign on Walnut Street, westbound at North Federal Street. Is there anyone here to speak in favor? Is there anyone here to speak in favor? Is there anyone here to speak in favor? Seeing none, I'll close that portion of the hearing. Is there anyone here to speak in opposition? Anyone here to speak in opposition? Is there anyone here to speak in opposition? Seeing none, I'll close that portion of the hearing. What are the wishes of the board?
Where did we receive this one from again? I don't...
Counselor Walsh.
608, it's around the corner here, right?
Walnut Street?
Oh, I'm thinking Essex Street. I'm looking at the wrong one.
That's at the intersection of Walnut, Linwood, and North Federal, coming out of Walnut
Oh, yeah.
Street from the school.
From the school.
From the school coming out of Walnut Street.
Yeah, I'm fine with that, I guess. I'll make a motion to approve.
I second.
Motion made and seconded to approve number 893, establishing the stop sign on Walnut Street. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? And it's a vote. Number 894, establish isolated stop sign on Fayette Street at Collins Street. Anyone here to speak in favor of that? Is there anyone here to speak in favor? Is there anyone here to speak in favor? Seeing none, I'll close that portion of the hearing. Is anyone here to speak in opposition? Anyone here to speak in opposition? Is there anyone here to speak in opposition? Seeing none, I'll close that portion of the hearing. What are the wishes of the board?
I had the same question. Where was that one from?
That one was a resident up there that lives at the corner, and basically he explained that now there's a new business in the old bakery, and they're parking their trucks there, and there's been some crashes or some near misses as the people are coming up the hill from, say, like the English side, going across. They're not catching the cars that are coming down the one-way from Chestnut Street.
Oh, is that Ward 3 or Ward 2?
Ward 3, isn't it? It's
Or is
3.
that 2?
Isn't
I'm
that?
not sure which ward it is.
Yeah, I'd like to actually table this one for when Andy and everybody is here. I actually am meeting with the Ward 2 council some problems, and I thought Collins was one of them, and maybe even changing the flow of traffic and everything else. I think he was more in depth. I think that's one of the meetings I'm having actually at the police station, so I'd like to table it.
All right, motion made to table. Do I hear a second? Motion made and seconded to table number 894. All those in favor?
All right?
Aye.
Those opposed? And it's a vote. I'm going to go out of order for new business because we have someone here that wants to speak on number 528 and 643, the Ellis Street stop sign. Would you just say your name and your address for the record? And
Sure, Stacy Mancello, Lynn Council on Aging Director, located at East Silsby Street in Lynn.
and what do you want to tell us about that?
I believe that if you put a stop sign on Silsby Street, it'll stop the speeders from going around the corner where there's a high foot traffic, whether it's seniors or workers.
You're looking at Silsby at Ellis?
Right. We petitioned for it in 2011, and we believe that some sort of mistake occurred because it's the new stop sign in 11 went on Ellis. I'm looking from coming down Broad, under the bridge, stop right there before the do not enter, because then maybe it will help them see the do not enter, and then also it'll slow them down when they're, if you're halfway across the street or more, you have to run to the sidewalk because they just come right around the corner. And we've had pedestrians hit over the years.
And I do know it was brought to my attention. It looks like it was brought up in 2011. Like you said, There's a request for the stop sign being put on that side, and then the ordinance was for the stop sign being put on the other side, but,
Right. Do you want me to read the letter?
yeah.
Okay. So this was from the Disability Commission.
This is in 11?
This is 2011. It was a letter from Joan Reynolds. On behalf of the Disability Commission, I am writing to request the establishment of an ordinance providing for the placement of a stop sign on Silsby Street before the right turn onto Ellis to slow the flow of traffic onto Ellis for the benefit of seniors with disabilities and mobility issues crossing from the Ellis Street parking lot over to the Greater Lynn Senior Services. Your consideration for this request to provide a safer environment for our elderly disabled would be greatly appreciated. Sincerely, Joan Reynolds, Secretary.
I'll make a motion. I actually spoke with the Ward 5 council, and she said something about she wanted to do something, stop signs up in that area. I'll make a motion, set down for a public hearing, and maybe get some additional input from the Ward council to make sure that all corners are covered.
Motion made
Motion seconded.
and seconded to put down for a public hearing. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? And it's a vote. And we'll put it down for a public hearing next month.
Okay?
Yeah, the Ward councilor did say something to me, Diana Chakutis, about some signs and stuff down there for the handicap, so I'll double check with her, and I don't know if she's looking to do more or whatever, but,
I believe it's the same one.
okay.
I believe it's the same one, because if the concerns from the senior citizens come into my office, she's elder affairs in the city.
She does a good job at it, so,
Right.
matter of fact, she's got another one tonight she asked me to put on.
Okay.
Thank you.
Much appreciated, thank you.
All right, we'll go back to number 899, establish no parking or one-sided parking on Story Ave across from number 15 and number 17.
Where
We
did
have a
this come
letter?
from?
I do
We
have
have a
a
letter,
letter.
hold on.
I was gonna ask that, you know.
So, dear Mr. Shinnick, I am writing on behalf of myself and my neighbors. If you could come to our neighborhood, you will clearly see that the street itself is narrow, but besides that, my driveway and my neighbors at 15 Story Ave and 17 Story Ave share the same driveway. If you stand where our cars would pull out onto the street, you will see that there is a car parked across from the driveway. It's nearly impossible to make the turn either left or right. In the last two snowstorms, many others, but particularly on the last snowstorm, an incident was that I had to knock on everyone's door to find out whose car it was so I could go to work. Never mind the fact that no other cars could even make it down the street. I am requesting on behalf of my neighbors at 15 and 17 Story Ave to have no parking sign put across the driveway for the months of November 1st through May 1st. I also realize that you may make it one-sided parking, which would alleviate congestion on Story Ave. A concern that is plaguing our street is that if the Buddhist temple has anything going on, my neighbors and I cannot get out of the driveway or get down the street. Thank you for your time and consideration of this proposal. Respectfully, Jolie Moreau.
Which council is that, do you know?
That's not town, that's Calucci, isn't it?
Calucci, I believe.
I don't know if we want input from the council, or if we want to wait till we have a full board.
I mean, either way, both. You know, actually, I went down there, I looked at it, I spoke to her too. Across the street, the temple has a driveway that comes out towards her side, and I think it's resident parking on her side. I said they could make the same argument that trying to come out of their driveway, you know, and then you'd lose the resident parking out.
I'd like
out
to
in
table
front
it
of that
for the next meeting, keep it as new business.
All right, second.
Motion made and seconded well, to table number 899. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? And it's a vote. Number 900, 30 Lover's Leap Ave request for no parking sign on Gayron Way. I believe we have a letter on that one, too.
And I actually have some pictures that she sent.
Let's see
Okay,
the
so
pictures.
this letter is from Iva Civil, who lives at 30 Lover's Leap Ave. Dear Cheryl, I'm writing this letter to you today
I don't know if I agree with it
to
or not.
brought to your attention a problem that I am facing in my area with
We'll look at the
parking issues.
originals.
I live at 30 Lovers Leap Ave. The entrance is Pine Hill Terrace, what used to be Gayron Way in the past. I've been living there for 9.5 years. I've never had any concern about, now I had one because I have 3 children, including my dad, who's 87 years old, and a 4.5-year-old. If I got an emergency, there's going to be no way for the ambulance for firefighter to get to me at the end of the terrace. Recently, the house in front of me was sold. When the new owner moved there, I did explain to them how we used to use it. Means me and the previous owners, especially during the winter time, because it is so narrow in the terrace. Still, the problems did not stop. My biggest concern stated this past winter, when they have 2 cars parked right under the tree, makes it so difficult to get in and back out of the street. Well, I tried to explain to them again instead of making it easy for each other, now they have 2 SUVs parked there while they leave their parking space empty and park at the emergency spot, making it more difficult for me to back out or getting in from work at 1 in the morning because I work evening shift. On May 18th, I went to Inspectional Services Department with my survey. They did explain to me that the spot is not a parking spot in this area, is for emergency for the house at the end, and told me to contact the parking department. When I came to the office, they told me that you're the best person to contact. This is why I'm writing this letter, to request a do not park sign to be placed there. To become a safety issue now, with a 2 SUV parked there, something is all day, they are there. If they get out by 3 or 4, they park right back at the same spot again. Well, I can never predict when I will have an emergency with my dad, who's wearing a lifeline, or anyone else in the house. I have closed some pictures that I take for proof. If by any means you want to check, you can do so early in the morning between 9 and 10 a.m. or between 3 and 4 p.m. I cannot tell when they will be there all week too, but I appreciate the sign to be placed. And it's Iva Civil.
I did look on pictometry, and it, where Gayron Way cuts in there, and where her property is,
Yeah.
it looks like her property takes up a good portion of that spot where they're parking, but
So that's what my question was going to be. Maybe we should have Gina tell us what is city property and what isn't. And again, maybe this should be tabled and get some more information from the
table it
DPW.
for a letter from Gina. And
I'll be honest, I usually get to go out and look at everything. I didn't see this one.
I went up there, and the car was parked there when I went up there, and it does make it difficult to get in and out of the terrace. I'm just not sure where the property lines are, either the
I'd rather
city
have Gina.
boundary.
DPW does an excellent job with that anytime I ask.
So make a motion, then we'll refer it to the DPW for
Yep.
request.
Yes,
Yes.
I'll make
All
that
right.
motion. You want to make a
I'll
motion?
make a motion today.
I'll second
Motion
it.
made and seconded to table number
900.
900 and send a request to DPW for some more information. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? And it's a vote. We did Ellis. Number 901, 23 Central Ave, request 2-hour parking on Willow Street side of the building. Do we have a letter on that?
I actually got I sent an email, but the Ward 5 council approached me on that. She's very concerned because there's a parking problem in the downtown area, and she's looking, not understanding why there's not parking there to help out the residents and the businesses downtown. So she's asking to make that 2 hours versus the no parking. I did go down and look at it. I agree, it's a one-way street. There's no reason that is not, I think she had a great call there, because there's no reason that is not 2-hour parking. They could definitely utilize it with the apartments there and the business. It
And
would be
there's
on
parking on the right side.
Yes.
right? This would be parking on the left side.
against the old 23 Central Ave, the old Security National.
What about permit parking?
The 2 hour would be good, because you got businesses, you got everything there. That would be the
Up
best.
to like
Is it wide
8
enough?
o'clock or something like that?
The 2 hours, it's consistent with downtown.
Is it wide
Okay.
enough to have the two sides?
You could
parking
get a
on
fire
both
truck
sides?
down or a tractor trailer down. Streets are narrower than that with parking on both sides.
I'll entertain a motion.
I make the motion,
A second?
set it down for public hearing.
Motion made and seconded to put number 901 down for a public hearing. All those in favor?
All right?
Those opposed? And it's a vote. The only thing under old business that I think we could actually take off the table if you wanted to is the Williams Place. I think Cheryl has talked to the woman down there, and the sign that was put up, I think, is what she was looking for, so
I'll make a motion.
to take it off the table.
I second the motion.
Motion made and seconded to take 890 off the table. All those in favor?
Aye.
And those opposed? I mean, am I right, Cheryl, about that sign that
Yes,
was
I
put
did
there?
speak
So
to
we're
her.
gonna
She
refer
seemed
it-
Just for the file?
File?
to- Yeah, we'll
I'll
look
make-
for the file.
You want the motion, or you want me?
Motion?
I'll second that. to refer to the
Motion made
file.
and seconded to accept it for the file. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion
Those
to adjourn.
opposed? It's a
All
vote.
in favor? How's that go?
Motion made to adjourn
I second.
and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed?